La Crosse Local is proud to be a sponsor of the La Crosse Winter Roots Festival, taking place Saturday, February 12th. We invite you to celebrate music, cuisine, artists, makers, brewers, and distillers in the new La Crosse Center Riverside Ballroom. Musical entertainment includes Dan Sobronic, Reed Grimm, Tug, The Remainders, Greg Hall and the Wrecking Ball, and the Trippin' Billies, the nation's most renowned Dave Matthews tribute band. La Crosse Winter Roots Festival is presented by the La Crosse Center, La Crosse Local, and with special thanks to The Remainders.
I'm going home. Hey, I'm going home.
Find out more information and how to get tickets at lacrosselocal.com. We sat down with Alex Attardo, head of outreach and education at the La Crosse Community Theater. We talk about getting into theater, the Star Academy, COVID and its effect on the organization and programming, and what the La Crosse Community Theater is excited for down the road. You can find more conversations, food reviews, live music, and events on our website, lacrosselocal.com. I'm Amy.
And I'm Brent.
And this is La Crosse Local.
Yeah, my name is Alex Attardo. I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana. And I got into theater actually because I was a sports person. I played soccer, I swam. I actually blew out both my knees whenever I was 15 and auditioned for the musical that semester, which was Pippin in high school. So for theater, it's like I started late. You know, in the arts, they normally like you to start whenever you're about 6. But for me, I started whenever I was 15 just because of an injury and ended up sticking with it and loving it.
Kind of sent you down that road. So from there, how did you end up at the La Crosse Community Theater? You're in the outreach and education component of it, correct?
Yes. So I actually applied to Viterbo to be in their music theater program 2010. So I moved out to the area in 2010, ended up changing my major to theater education about halfway through, took a gap year, worked for Disney, and then came back student taught. Then I went back out to Florida and worked with their education team, worked with their guest services team, and then housekeeping management out there as well. And so, you know, COVID happened. I was supposed to move out to Colorado. I was supposed to be a store director in training for Sephora, actually. So I was going to open a Sephora at this place called The Orchard in Colorado, but life happens with COVID. My partner's family, they're from Boston area. So they got really sick about this time last year. And we started to have conversations about, should we go back? Where do we consider home? And so the real choice, we were in Colorado at the time, was, do we come back and be around his family, or do we go back to Florida? And we decided to come back here. And really this opportunity kind of fell into my lap. They advertised for it back in March, and then the search got suspended. So they reached out to me and they were like, I'm so sorry. We're currently suspending this position. And so I asked if I could help out with the summer camp just as a camp counselor. I wanted to get back involved in the theater. I really missed it. And LCT for me as an organization, going through college, I was involved in their shows. And so it felt like a home for me. And so when I stepped back into the building, I was like, yep, I'm back at home. And within the first 3 days there, they told me that they had headcount again for this position and they would like me to interview for it. And, you know, that was in August. So really, I didn't know if I had this job from March until August. Hurry and wait. And I'm glad I did.
So you kind of touched on it a little bit, the background in education, the Star Academy School Year Edition. What is this program all about?
Actually, it was brought to our executive director, Jace, from a couple of the members of the community about having stuff surrounding the in-service and professional development days in the La Crosse School District's calendar. And so I really just dissected it and was like, okay, when are the kids not present? Are they just there half days? And I took the 8 days out of the year of the La Crosse School District's calendar and said, these days are days where kids are not going to be in school. And, you know, why not have educational opportunities for them where they can learn different aspects of theater. So this first one we did was special effects, because we had Blythe Spirit going on. It had a lot of special effects in it. And, each different section touches on something that's a little different. Theater it's all encompassing. It requires every discipline of art, whether it's painting, whether it is dancing, singing, now it's getting into the world of robotics with automation. There is so much happening in theater that I think anybody could be involved in theater, if they really wanted to. There's something really for everybody. So each section is going to really try and hit a different discipline and not just acting, singing, dancing.
So I know my kids are back to school and they're pumped. They're excited. They wear the masks, that sort of thing. They're just kind of hungry for, experiences. So what are you seeing with like these kind of first couple presentations with these children?
Yeah, so I would say the first thing is that they're much younger and less across the board. We opened it up from 6 to 18 just to kind of see who would be interested. And we knew that the older kids, it would be more of a gamble just because they can stay at home. They don't necessarily have to come in and learn. But to program, I basically create 3 different ways the program could go based upon what the numbers look like. And we're really seeing it be from 6 to 12, 6 to 13. So it is a bit younger, which is awesome. To me, I would love to have 15 of each kind of range, really from 6 to 9. And then I would love, an age range that's from 10 to 13, and then really 14 to 18 eventually as this program grows. So we're getting the younger portion of the program, which is amazing. Catching them young, I think, is awesome. And they had a great time at this last section. They are always curious. They always want to learn. Kids learn very differently right now with COVID. For the past, some of them don't know how to read as well as they have in the past. Reading is in this district is down almost 2 grade levels. So how do I engage them in a way to where they can learn text, to where it's like visually impactful, because that's really how they've been learning, is via a monitor for a long time. So lots of videos and lots of hands-on demonstrations. So it's a lot of kinesthetic kind of learning. They got to write a show using a special effect at the end, and some of the 6-year-olds, they don't contribute the same way as somebody who's 12, right? So it's about engaging and collaborating, and they created some amazing pieces, and the older students were very helpful along the way, kind of guiding their learning and getting them to, have a script in their hand, be able to speak the lines and read the lines. Really, they're learning from the second they walk in the door, whether they're up here in terms of their intellect, or they are, younger and they're up here and they just need the skills to be able to get to where everybody else is. So it's really beautiful to see kids kind of all come together and learn as a collective and share art collectively.
I could definitely see your excitement in this process. What are you excited, for the next year or two, related to this component, or, just in your own life?
Oh yeah. I would love to get back to after school programming and doing some Saturday programming for really high school and adults. I think, right now we're really focused on the kids, but I think education as a whole is for everyone. It's for the whole community. My title is Outreach and Education. So I do a lot of outreach with various communities. So I'm hoping in the future to build lots of stronger relationships and partnerships with various communities throughout the Cooley region, whether it's Seven Rivers, whether it's Enduring Families Project, the Hmong Cultural Center, Hope Restores. I think really showing that the community theater is a diverse, equitable, and inclusive place, and really practicing what we preach, I think is huge in this area. I mean, this is a predominantly white area. I grew up in New Orleans where it is very 50-50, whereas here it is demographically almost 88% white, which is amazing. But also, I think I want the community theater to be a place where kids can experience different cultures, where they can all come together to learn from each other and be a really kind of cohesive family, because that's really what community theater is. It's about bringing people together. So I'm hoping in the future to build more partnerships with them, and so the community can be educated a little differently.
So, if people want to find out more about the La Crosse Community Theater, find out about the Star Academy, or even connect with you, what's the best avenue for them to go to?
I would, of course, encourage people to find out more at our website, lacrossetheater.org. You can go under the education tab and find more about specifically the Star Academy School Year Edition and our summer programming as well. You can always call our box office during the day. Usually Mary Kate, our patron services manager, is there from 3 to 5 every day. That's 608-784-9292. And then you can always email me directly. I usually get back pretty quickly. And it's just my first name, Alex, at lacrossetheater.org. If they have questions, please send them my way. I want all different types of people to come out and experience the joy of theater.
La Crosse Local Podcast is a production of River Travel Media. Do you have an interview idea you'd like to share with us? Message us on Facebook at La Crosse Local. Find out more about us at lacrosselocal.com, and you can subscribe to the La Crosse Local Podcast on your favorite podcast app. If you like us, rate us 5 stars. We appreciate it.